This is Karen with newclevelandradio.net, and it is time for our Heart Mojo with Melinda Smith. And Melinda, we've had a number of different organizations on before, and typically we're talking about our own personal journeys. But I have a feeling that we're going to be talking about some furry friends that have a journey.
Absolutely. Well, we've talked about a lot of different things, and it occurred to me recently that we haven't talked about our best friends, which tends to be our pets. So I came across with another friend, this group that we're going to talk to today with Lori Ranson, who's been there for, I think she said 5 years, right? And she's on the board, and it's called,
yes, it'll be 5 years in January.
5 years in January. This group is called Geauga Mama Dogs and Pups. That's the formal name. So welcome to our show, and tell us a little bit about you before we get into the organization. Could you hear?
Okay. I am originally from the Akron area, and that's where I went to law school. And I recently retired as a lawyer in November. And I was also a JAG officer with the U.S. Army for 26 years as well in the reserves. So I've been pretty busy as a lawyer. Yes, as a lawyer, as a mom. And then I got into the fostering about, like I said, it'll be 5 years in January.
Okay. And what made you decide that you wanted to foster? What is it? Did you always have a love for dogs or puppies? Did you raise them?
I've always been a dog owner. I've always had, like, I don't know, just an easy time training dogs, being with dogs, having them, listen to me. And one of my colleagues, she was a transporter for Geauga Mama Dogs and Pups. And when I would see her at our agency, she would always talk to me about the animals and what she does for the transport. And she would also work with Friendship, APL, and Elyria and walk dogs. And the more she kept talking about the need for drivers and fosters and just everything to save these animals, after about 2 years I decided that I wanted to get into fostering to see how it would go. And
how has it gone? Seems well.
And I'm still there.
And you're still there.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how the organization got started.
So Karen Braun, she lives in Garrettsville, and she started the organization about 12 years ago. She would work with some of the local rescue shelters and found that there was a need for the shelters and the APLs to have help with pregnant moms or moms with puppies, or just puppies that did not have a mom. Because usually the shelters and the APLs did not have the manpower that it takes or the funds to take care of the moms and puppies, because it is a different way to take care of pregnant moms and nursing moms and puppies. There's a lot more physical care that needs to be done, a lot more physical work, medical supplies, vet expenses, things like that. So she kind of started it in Geauga County in her barn with she had help from like 3 or 4 of her friends, and they kind of started it that way. And then it started to grow more and more across northern Ohio. And she started, we had another woman, Diane Schuback, was Dr. Schuback. She's a retired OBGYN. She joined the group as well. So she helps whelp the moms and do a lot of the medical stuff that she can do. I've even learned how to do IV fluids and things like that to help the puppies. And thankfully too, we have a lot of nurses that also are fosters. So a lot of us have learned how to do a lot of preliminary veterinary work to cut down the expenses, but we also have a couple vets that work with us as well. So we've kind of reached out, and I got my vet involved. So he helps us too and gives us a great discount, thankfully. And then Friendship APL kind of backs us financially as well when we get expensive vet bills that we can't pay. And Friendship adopts out a lot of our puppies. So that's kind of how it started to work that way.
Once you get the mom puppies or the moms with the puppies and she's had her puppies, do you then spay the dog so that we're not having multiple, it doesn't go back and have more puppies?
Yeah, so what we do is the when the puppies are weaned, usually between 6 and 7 weeks, then we look for fosters to take the puppies, to take them into the home to foster them. And then the mom goes to, most of the time, to Friendship APL, or she might stay with the foster if we know somebody that wants to adopt her directly.
Mhm.
And we give her like 2 weeks to dry up and get healthy, and then she goes in for her spay, and then she's put up for adoption at that point. We foster puppies up to for their spay or neuter. However, a lot of times we'll get puppies that are older than 9 weeks. So we get them, we take them for at least a week. I have a set that I just picked up on Sunday, yes, on Sunday. And we keep them for a week to monitor them, to make sure that they're healthy, that they don't have any skin issues, they're not coming down with kennel cough or parvo. We deworm them, we make sure they're caught up on their vaccines.
Mhm.
And we keep a list, and we have our own medical form we fill out that we'll follow them to the shelter or APL or potential adopter, and all that medical gets tracked. Sometimes we end up having to keep puppies for 3 weeks to maybe 3 months, depending on what medical issue they might have. If they have parvo, a lot of times we can catch it quickly and give them antibiotics, injectable antibiotics and IV fluids, so we can avoid a vet bill. But sometimes they get too sick and they have to go to the vet.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how the process works in caring for them. We've gotten puppies as young as 1 day old.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
And we do have certain fosters that do bottle feed, and that's getting up every 2 hours, and they have to do that for like 3 weeks.
Like having your own baby, except multiple ones.
Right, it's very exhausting. So we get bottle babies. I've had 2 small litters, but I haven't done anything major yet. I haven't whelped any litters. But I've taken on like whole litters that were smaller. They were like Pomeranian mixes. So I just said, I'll just take all 5 of them. They're small. So, but yeah, so we see a lot. We get a lot. We see a lot. We've had purebred puppies. We've had, mostly though they're mixed puppies.
Hmm. I mean, it seems like that's a special challenge to work with the mamas and the babies compared to just a dog being dropped off at the APL. There's a special challenge working with these.
Yes, it is, because it's hard to not get attached to them and to fall in love with them, of course. And it's tearful sometimes when you have to take them to the APL, because you want to keep them and you can't keep them all. And what Karen would tell all the new fosters, and what us seasoned fosters would tell the new fosters, is that yes, it's hard to give this one up, but if you keep this one, then you can't help the next one that's coming next week or next month.
Mhm.
And the shelters and APLs that we work with are so awesome, and they screen people, they get great homes, and it's real exciting when you can adopt a puppy to somebody and you get to see them on Facebook, or they come to visit, or sometimes I've babysat former fosters while their families have gone on vacation.
Oh,
So
that's fun.
yeah, so it's rewarding, it's heartbreaking. Yes, we have puppies die because they come to us so sick. And it's we try everything we can, but we take them to the vet, or they'll be in the hospital for a few days and they still end up passing away. And that's hard when you lose the puppies, but we try to save as many as we can.
So what it makes you different because you take care of only mamas and pups, right? Compared to the regular APL. What happens what happens if somebody drops this dog off that's pregnant at a regular APL?
It's interesting how the rescues and shelters, there's a big network now. Pretty much everybody kind of knows what everybody's doing, and everybody knows about everybody. Even down in, we'll get puppies from Dayton, we get puppies from Kentucky, we get puppies from West Virginia. They get hold of us. They send Karen a text if they have her number, or they send her an email or a message on Facebook. I need help, I have this pregnant mom, can you take her? And sometimes it's a juggle to figure out, like Karen has a few stalls in her barn that, have been, heated and remodeled to house mom and pups, and a few other people have their barns fixed to where they can house moms and pups. And then there's a few, so it's a matter of finding out which fosters that take in moms and whelp the puppies can take that mom in.
Well, it seems like it's extra work, so it would be hard for a normal shelter to be able to care for a mom and puppies, right?
Yes, it's very hard for them because, like I said before, it's a lot of work, where you have to be there 24/7. Somebody has to be there, especially when you're waiting for mom to deliver, or if mom has complications, or if the puppies have complications. So that's why the shelters and the APLs don't like to take care of puppies and moms, because they just don't have the resources. And that's, like I said, that's why Karen started this group, because they needed help. And so that's our main focus.
Do these puppies or moms tend to get put down because they don't know what else to do? They don't have the resources to care for them?
There are kill shelters here in Ohio, unfortunately. So yes, if we can find out, and they can get a hold of us, then we do our best to get them out of there. There's a couple states that are really bad. They don't have the money, and they don't have the spay and neuter clinics like we do. They don't have the education. They don't have the help. And so people do not get their puppies fixed a lot of times. And there have been a lot of moms and puppies that have been euthanized in those other states, because the people there just don't know what to do with them. So Karen has made a foothold in Kentucky over the past 4 years. So we now have at least 10 women in Kentucky that are fosters / rescuers. And then they actually work with the mail carriers down there, and the mail carriers will give them a heads up if they see a situation. They finally got an animal warden down there. So at least the people in that area now have an outlet. They have a place that they can call and say, I need to get rid of these puppies now. And so someone will go get them, or they'll just, take them to the animal warden. And we're starting to work with West Virginia a little bit more as well, to try to help those poor areas that, like I said, they don't have a Dick Goddard there. They don't have like cheap spay and neuter. And these are women down there that don't have a lot of money themselves, but they're still paying out of their own pocket a lot of fees that might be involved in rescuing, or once they get a puppy or a mom and they're hurt or they're sick. And a lot of us fosters up here too. We all spend our own money.
That was going to be my next question.
Yes.
Is it coming out of your pocket to take care of these?
The rescue, Karen's always tells everybody, if you need money, if you need it paid, we'll do it. But most of us that have the resources, we just do it. I drive a lot. I drive to Columbus at least twice a month to get a load of puppies. I traded in my convertible and got a van so I could transport puppies. So I got a van 2 years ago, and so a lot of us just pay our own gas. Nobody really asks those, because they know the rescue doesn't have just free cash laying around.
Right.
We have an Amazon wish list on our Facebook page where we'll put on there what kind of food we need or medicines that are over the counter type medicines. And so on our Facebook page, we'll say, we'll tell people if we're low on something, and then people will start sending us stuff through Amazon, and then it goes directly to Karen's barn. Everybody gets a thank you note. We have a couple women that they spend every week writing thank you notes to everyone. So with the board, we do have a treasurer, a marketing person, we have a bookkeeper. So we're 501c, and we want to make sure we do everything on the up and up. We keep track of everything that we can. And then, like I said, Friendship APL is the one that backs us a lot financially with the heavy medical bills. And then, like I said, our first choice is to take our puppies to them for adoption. They'll get the adoption fee, and they spay and neuter them. They chip the puppies before they get adopted out. Bone's so big that we've had to open up to the Animal Welfare League in Trumbull County, the Wayne Humane Society. Akron One of a Kind is a big help with us as well. Rescue Village in Geauga County. I mean, there's just so many shelters and rescues. Mutts in the Rut will take some once in a while. And there's just so many rescues and shelters that if they can fit a couple puppies in their shelter for adoption, they'll take them because they know they're going to go fast. They're puppies.
Yeah, puppies do go, don't
Yes.
they?
Right. So that's what I said. There's this huge network that goes on, and we've even helped some of the vets and the shelters out in Toledo area. So we're really all over Ohio, just saving as many moms and puppies as we can. Sometimes, like I said, we get there too late, and half the puppies have died, and it's just so heartbreaking. We really try. So we get semi-feral dogs, and these are dogs that are afraid of humans because by the time we rescue them, they're a little older, and they've never seen a human, they've never been in a house. So that's why I have 4 dogs now, because I've had 4 semi-feral dogs, and you have them for 3 months, 6 months, a year, and they're still not used to people, or they're afraid to go outside unless you go outside with them. And I've paid for training out of my own pocket, so I've had a trainer teach me how to work with semi-feral dogs or puppies. So yes, we see a lot, and some of us, like I said, we end up keeping our dogs because they're just too psychologically damaged that if they were put in a shelter, they probably would not get adopted.
So are you in need of foster homes? So if someone's watching this and they said, I really want to do this, I want to participate, how do they do that?
So on our Facebook page, you can send a message, and Joyce, who is our bookkeeper, accountant person, she's the one that answers all those messages. And people will message and say, first of all, they might see a puppy that we'll post puppies on the page that are might be available for adoption, and people will inquire about those. And since we have so many this past year or two, we're trying to facilitate more personal adoptions through our group versus the APL. But sometimes people want to go through the APL, and so we'll work with them and the APL and get them adopted that way. Then they'll also send a message and say, I don't want to foster because I think it's too much work, but I'm interested in transporting. So they'll put the transporters in touch with me, and I go over everything with them. And we actually now have a person who's taken on the job of being the transporter coordinator out of Columbus. And so she arranges the Kentucky transports because those are the most. We also have local transport, like picking up pups and moms from the farm in Geauga County and taking them to the vet in North Ridgeville, or my vet is in Richmond Heights. So things like that. And then the third thing we need are fosters. We try to go, try to go, a lot of us will help new fosters out, getting them food and the medicines. Obviously, every foster gets medicines and food for their puppies. When they get started, we try to go over, explain everything to them. If they come to my house, I let them come in my house and I show them how I have a setup, because everybody's setup for fostering is different. We work with CC's Cupboard, which is another, they're like a, they're the only area in Ohio and Pennsylvania that gets like the seconds from PetSmarts and Mars Food and Chewy and all that. So CC's Cupboard gives us crates that come in, pens, gates. Now I have an arrangement with them where we get all the puppy food, because they usually would just sort the food, just dog food on this pallet, cat food on that pallet, and then the rescues buy it cheap from, you know, it's sold very, very cheap because they're seconds, they're like grip bags or whatever. But now they separate all the puppy food. We get all that every month, which is nice. Foster, they could send a message. Joyce works with them. I can work with them as well. And just trying to go through that will only foster in the summer. We have some people that they might only foster once every 3 or 4 months. Then you have some of us that foster all the time. So you foster based on your capability, your lifestyle. I mean, we understand people have kids, that you have a life. Some people will, a lot of times if we have older puppies, that there might be 20 pounds already. Some people just want a single dog. And a lot of times with the big ones, you just get a single dog and they're easier. You have them for a week just to make sure that they're healthy before they go to the APL. And some people want small little tiny ones because they're easier, because they're older and they can't lift anything very heavy. And you know, we just go through with them what fits your lifestyle, and we work with you. And if we give you puppies and you're going to have them for 3 weeks and something comes up, we have a private member Facebook page as well. And you post on there, I have these puppies, I have to go out of town, who can take over? And our group is everybody's so nice to everybody, and they immediately try to find somebody to take over for you, because you can't keep them that long. So we juggle puppies all the time. So just as long as they are getting fed and getting their medicines and getting healthy and getting ready to go to a good home and getting socialized, that's the big thing too. People know that when they go to Friendship APL or they're going to Akron One of a Kind and they're getting a puppy that came from Geauga Mamas, they know that this puppy has been socialized with other dogs, sometimes cats. I have a couple cats and they stay upstairs, and I take the puppies upstairs and I make everybody do a meet and greet for a while, and just to kind of desensitize the puppies to cats, things like that. And then we pass on information to about the puppy when we fill out that medical sheet. There's a note section, and we fill out the medical sheet, and I've had you know, the dog does not like cats, or this puppy likes cats. This puppy is still afraid to go up the steps. Anything we've noticed about their behavior, we also put that on the sheet as well, because then the APL passes it on to the new owner, so they know what they're in for. I had a dog she was part pit bull, and really she was pretty aggressive. You know, but a friend of mine wanted to adopt her, and I explained to him what she was like, and he was fine with that. And I see them once in a while, but you know, we want the owners, we want them to be successful. So we try to pass this information on to them.
So what are your needs as you're moving forward with this? You've been around how long has the organization been around?
She said she started about 12 years ago.
Okay.
So
in the 12 years, obviously you've kind of fine-tuned things that you
Yes.
need, places that you can get. I mean, obviously you need money, and we'll get to that in a minute. But what kind of things does a foster parent need? And then do you take straight out donations? Like if somebody has an extra crate or gates, instead of buying them straight out, they can donate them directly?
Oh, yes. So we always can use blankets and towels. That's an ongoing need. And then if anyone has used crates, used pens, we take those as well. We drive all over, somebody will message us, and I have these in Lakewood. Can somebody come get them? And we find out who's the closest person in Lakewood can go pick them up for us. Yes, we always need anything you can think of that when you
Toys,
have a dog,
toys,
we need. I'm sorry.
pet toys?
Toys, collars, leashes, primarily extra small and medium collars. We don't need any large things. We don't really, but we don't really use a lot of that stuff. So we really don't need pet clothing, but we always need toys. We need newspaper, pee pads, things like that. I mean, I usually, now that I'm with CC's Cupboard, sometimes if they have pee pads that come in on a truck, they'll donate a bunch of those to us. But most of the time, all fosters are buying their own pee pads. Or
And
they
it wouldn't
use.
matter if they were for people, right? Or pets, the pee pads.
Oh
Somebody
yeah,
may be watching this show that, they had a senior in their life and their senior doesn't live with them anymore for whatever reason, and they're stuck with all these extra pads. You could use those.
oh yes, we take those too. I've had people give those to me as well. So yes, and they're very useful. So yes, and so like I said, so a lot of the ways to donate to us is on our Facebook page. Like I said, the Amazon wish list is there. I know they were doing a Give Butter campaign. I'm not too familiar with a lot of the donations. Tony Krager is our marketing person. So if any of us want to do something on behalf of Geauga Mamas, say at a festival or a fair or post something, we have to run everything through her just so she's aware of what's going on.
Right.
So we're not trying to go against, say if we have a big type of fundraising thing going on, it's not going to be in competition. Something small is not going to take away from that. So we do have that type of organization to where we do things like that. So we'll be out. You might see us out in different animal friendly festivities or something.
Mhm.
So yes.
Do you go, I'm trying to think of the name, it's escaping me, but at Chagrin polo fields, don't they have a
Yes.
big
Wolfstock. Yes.
Wolfstock? That's right.
Yes.
You show up there.
We haven't yet. I was just, and it's so funny you say that because I was just thinking about that the other day. I don't think we've been up there yet. So I was going to contact Tony about that because I know it's in September. So I need to look into that to find out if we're going to have a table up there or something like that. Because the issue we have when you go to events, everybody wants you to bring the puppies, and we cannot take puppies out. They have not been fully vaccinated, so they cannot go out in public places. We can bring, like, I'll bring one of my dogs that I have adopted a couple of years ago, something like that. Or sometimes we can bring a mom dog as long as we know she's had a rabies vaccine. But it's not safe for us to bring puppies out in the public without them. And we even tell people when you adopt, until your puppy is over 12 weeks old and has had that last distemper 5-way vaccine and the rabies vaccine, you really should not be taking it out in public places because it still can get sick. So so that's what's hard about us doing any public events. Everybody wants a puppy.
Well, you just have to do a video or put this
Right,
podcast
right.
out there and let them see that. But do a video of your puppies in the home. I think that would be great. Well, you have a fundraiser coming up, don't you? Can you tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about that? I think it's your
Yes.
first one.
Yeah, so I retired in November, and I've done quite a few large fundraisers, assisted, obviously, never put one on by myself or spearheaded it. So I decided to do one this year, and it's going to be Friday, September 29th at Lavera Party Center in Willoughby. At Willoughby, Wycliffe, they're right
I think
next to
it's
each other.
Willoughby.
Yeah, it's Willoughby. Okay. Yes, and it's from 6 to 11:30. And we're hoping to have at least 100 raffle baskets. And most of the baskets coming in are 60 to maybe $250. We have some high-end items as well, some like weekend getaways in Geneva, a hotel stay, a 4-person golf package with the cart, things like that. So we are getting some high-end items. We're going to have sideboards and 50-50 raffle. And then there's a band that's going to play, and a couple of them are long time. I've known them for quite a few years. So they're going to give us a discount on their fee. So we'll have a band there as well. And they're going to have a nice family style dinner on. And so we're taking donations for any type of basket to put together. I'm a resource person. I'm a facilitator, so to speak. I'm very good at trying to make sure all businesses that support us are getting recognized. I went on Amazon and bought like those plastic card holders. So if businesses have cards that have donated to us, we're putting their cards out so people can take those the night of the event, because I'm going to encourage people to support those establishments that are supporting us. We'll have a program, and all the businesses and people that have donated to us will be listed in the program as well. So I just want people to have a good time and to feel good that they're supporting a good cause and that they're being appreciated, that we're not just taking. So tickets are, if it's $100 for a single person, but if you buy 2 tickets, it's $150. But the best deal is if you buy a table of 8, then it's $500, which works out to $62.50 a person. That covers our costs. That's going to cover the food, the open bar, the band, and all the miscellaneous stuff that we're purchasing. Is my guess, is what I've kind of, it's my guesstimate, I guess. So that will cover at least the expenses, and everything else then will be what we'll make at the actual fundraiser itself.
Is it a silent auction or like a Chinese raffle where you buy tickets?
We debated about that. So it's either with the really high end items that are worth, we have something worth $750. We have a few things worth $500 that are coming in. We debated on a silent auction versus buying, say, a $5 ticket, and then only those tickets can go in for those particular baskets.
Items.
Yes.
So somebody can come and find something that fits them no matter what they want to participate in. Sideboards, an auction, the raffle. Just come and have a good time. And you could just straight donate, right? I mean, someone could just say, hey, I'm coming to have a good time. I don't want to do the raffle baskets. I just want to donate. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh, yes, they can do that. Yes, they can do that. We take cash, check, PayPal, and Venmo. And we definitely, because everything's on your phone now. Diane, who's the retired OBGYN, she's also our treasurer, and she and her husband are going to be handling the table with the high-end items and the money and all that. And then she is the one that is in charge of the PayPal and Venmo account. So if people say they were like, oh, I didn't bring enough cash, I need more cash, they can go to her, do Venmo right in front of her, and she could see it, and then she can give them the cash.
Good. Very good.
Yes. So it's going to be like our ATM.
So you have something for everybody, and you have every way that you can possibly make it easy for people to participate and donate.
Yes, exactly.
Well, one of my friends, she's a foster mom. She takes puppies in all the time. She also takes in dogs when seniors, it's hard to place a senior dog.
Yes.
So she'll do that as well. And she told me about you. And that's how
thank
they
you.
ended up on the show today. So I'm very glad she did. I think it's a different, any pet when they get surrendered, whether it's because somebody's a senior themselves and they can't take care of their pet, or they move, whatever it might be, let alone with the mama dogs, that makes it even harder. It's a special challenge to make sure that we take care of our pets who can't take care of themselves.
Exactly. And that's the thing too. A lot of us fosters, I mean, especially me, I think because I have put myself out there as like a foster / adoption coordinator, I have a lot of people that contact me. Maybe they're not looking for a puppy, so they're looking for maybe one of our mom dogs. And I really try to fit the animal with the personality or the situation of the home. Because I was burned one time not doing my homework, and somebody adopted a puppy that wasn't a right fit. I learned a big lesson that way. So I really try to make sure that the people are aware of the possible breed mix the dog might be, because obviously we don't really know.
Right.
But I always try to make sure I spend a lot of time with them on the phone to make sure that they're educated and that they are getting the best choice of a puppy that we can find for them.
You want it to be successful. That's the best way to do it. So one more time, how can people reach out to you? Because our time has flown by already. How can they reach out?
So they can, like I said, we have a Facebook page, Geauga Mama Dogs and Pups. They can reach out to us that way. Or they can, my phone number and email address is out there for everybody. My email address is my name. It's Lori, Lori, Ransom, Ransom 44 @yahoo.com. And my phone number is 216-402-9732. I field a lot of calls for a lot of things, and especially now with this fundraiser coming up. So, and so my next 6 weeks is dedicated to that. And obviously, if getting puppies adopted out too, that would be great.
Well, if they see them on your Facebook page, I'm sure they're going to fall in love with them. But they can call you if they want to participate in this fundraising event, whether it's attending or donating, right?
Correct. Yes, they can. I will set
right.
them up and get them taken care of.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being on our show today. Karen, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm really excited that we had you on. We'll put as much information as we can in the show notes, and best of luck with the fundraiser.
And
Well,
I will
thank
see
you
you
so
there
much.
because I plan on being there.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, call me for tickets.
I will do that.
All
We're going
right,
to try to
sounds
get a
good.
table. So,
Oh, good. Okay, I'll put you down.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Take care
you.
now.
Have a
Bye-bye
great
now.
night.
Thank you.